Hello, and welcome to Ask the Expert, an award-winning daily series from 8:30 in the morning till 9 o'clock to help small businesses like you and me. Now, if you have any questions today about being on video and helping and getting on video, so it's going to help your business. If you've got questions about being on video, please do comment in the live feed. If you need any more advice, join the official Intuit QuickBooks SMB community group on Facebook. Accountants and business experts are on hand 24/7. Now, during the live session this morning, we will be running a poll all about being confident on video. So please do engage with it, and I'll reveal the results at the end. The question is, how confident are you on video? And do you use video for your business? So today is all about how video can transform your business. But when we talk about video generally, people quite often think, businesses think, I'll make a video and then I'll advertise the business on it in a little kind of advert. But actually in these digital times, in these post-COVID times, video is being used everywhere. It's not just about creating an advert. It's about you using video to your advantage, whether it's Teams, Zoom, meetings, whether it's little clips on LinkedIn or on Facebook or Instagram. Video is more engaging than any other form of communication at the moment. Now, you're thinking, I don't really like being on video. Well, let me just tell you a tiny bit about my background and why I've got 100 or thousands of tips to help you this morning. So my background's as a producer, actually. I've been producing for many years. I had 10 years at the BBC as a senior producer. And before that, I was head of programs for a youth TV channel called Rapture TV. And I've always been involved in radio and television, but I didn't like being on camera myself. I spent many years in studios. I spent many hours of live programming, helping other people to be confident. So I've always known what to do and how to do it, but I didn't feel that confident on camera myself. And I remember one time when I was making a film show and I was presenting the show and producing the show. And when we came to the edit suite, so I could edit the clips together, I really didn't enjoy watching myself. And I didn't like the sound of my own voice. That's so strange, isn't it? Do you ever find that when you watch yourself back, you think, oh no, I don't sound like that. Or you're in denial that you sound like that. So, but I can't request enough that if you start using video and getting used to yourself on video, it really does change your attitude towards it. And nowadays, it's a skill that you just need because you will be required to communicate on lots of different levels, whether it is a professional video or whether it's just meetings or pitching via video. You might as well get good at this skill. Now, I used to get over my watching myself back issue by putting pictures over my image. And then I realized, you know what I really enjoy doing is helping other people to be really brilliant on television and radio. So for many years, I didn't put myself in front of the camera. And then it's really recently, since I've been run my own business, when I left the BBC, I set up my own business to help people communicate better. First of all, it was all live and it was in small groups. So I'd help people to pitch, to have more personal impact and use all of the techniques that I've been teaching Hollywood stars, politicians and big presenters, big name presenters at the BBC. I got all those tips and I was helping people in business. But soon, after about a couple of weeks, people started asking me, can you now come and speak for us? So again, I was really a nervous speaker. I was such a nervous speaker, I used to forget my words. I'm mincing my words this morning, actually. So nobody's perfect. You don't have to be perfect to be on video. And I was so passionate about this that I wrote a book called Goodbye Glossophobia. If you have tuned in this morning, you will get a link for a free gift, and it's the free audiobook of Goodbye Glossophobia. Glossophobia, by the way, is the fear of public speaking. So I help people who have a little bit of fear of public speaking, but also in business, quite often people don't know how to captivate their audience. So before COVID, I was doing everything live, helping people to pitch, helping people have more impact in meetings, to speak up, have more presence, have more gravitas. And then as soon as COVID hit, everything became video based. So it's really important. You probably are quite used to doing remote meetings now, but now you can get really good at this skill. You can fine tune yourself. When COVID hit, all of my business went from live, going to Munich. I was meant to go to Italy. I remember when in March 2020, everything got cancelled and everything went from live in person to live on Zoom or Teams or Blue Jeans or Webex or Citrix Systems. And so I have now become an international virtual speaker using video every day. But even in March 2020, I don't know if I liked it very much. I still felt that sensation of, oh, that the camera's looking at me. I'm not that confident. I don't know what to say. So please, if you've got questions, what do I say? How can I use video? Should I hire a film crew? Can I do it myself? Should I request that my team uses a video? How much video should we be using in business? Should I be using it on social media? Aren't people getting annoyed at video these days? I can share all of my experience with you. I've worked with businesses all over the world and business leaders. I can share experiences with you because it might be that your business lends itself to a certain style. Your business will lend itself to a certain production value. But I have a little dare for you. I have a dare for you. Something like this show, Ask the Expert. This show is looking for experts like you. So what about making your own little version of Ask the Expert? What about recording yourself talking about your expertise? That's my little dare for you this week. Have a chat with your team, or if you're a solopreneur, I dare you to make a little clip of you talking about your expertise. Now, I've got another tip for you. So that's my first dare. It's a tip, which is just get out there and record yourself. That's my first tip and my first dare. My second tip is this. You can always delete it, right? So just do a pilot. Think of it as a pilot, P-I-L-O-T, pilot. That means there's no risk. If it's terrible, you can delete it. You don't ever have to use it. You don't ever have to show it to anybody. You can watch it back like this because you can't stand looking at yourself. Don't worry, I feel your pain. So really the message today is get out there and try it. Make yourself a little video. Something where you are speaking as an expert is a really good starting point. And that's where I suggest you start. And even if you're an accomplished video, you're a maestro, even if you're a confident speaker on video, you can always learn. Just do it regularly. Okay, so I'm going to start going to the questions in a moment. Remember, the questions are going to be coming in this morning. It's all about video. How do you do it? How can I be more confident? I don't like myself. I shouldn't be on video. Help. Anything about video. And remember the poll. How confident are you on video? I'll be revealing the poll at the end of the show today. So let's have a look. Let's go to your questions. Thank you so much for engaging this morning. We've got Maxine on the Twitter direct message. Thank you, Maxine. Keeping videos short and sweet works best on social media. Yes. Any advice on how to really unlock the key message without the waffle? Maxine, key messages, no waffle. Absolutely brilliant. Good question. I mean, really, the advice there is, if you think about an advert, it's probably about 30 seconds. And an advert is worth, £1 million, or it might have even cost £500,000, maybe, around that price, depending on what the brand is. Adverts cost a lot of money to make, but they are 30 seconds, aren't they? The advertising slots. So really what they've done is they've funneled all of the brand values, and they've put all those lovely stories and values, and they funneled it, and it's like 30 seconds. So really, there's quite a lot of work goes into a short clip. You need this much work for this much clip. So I would say try and really try and find the essence of you, your brand, your expertise, and just experiment, pilot it, and try and have these little messages or a couple of sentences or tiny little stories that you could share within a minute. I think Instagram, it's about up to a minute, I think, for Instagram. So try and aim for up to a minute, and I would say chunk it up. So have one message at a time. Thanks, Maxine. Todd on Instagram. Thank you, Todd. Good morning to you. Thank you for watching live. I'm going to be presenting a series of videos through Zoom for my business, but I'm worried the quality of my camera and home setup isn't strong. Don't worry, Todd. Many people look terrible on Zoom because they have no idea. Any advice on camera, mics, and lighting on a budget? Okay, Todd, great question. I am going to reveal to you right now that this little setup that I have here didn't cost more than a couple of £100, and I've got semi-pro equipment, right? The key thing, Todd, is lighting. If I was going to choose between mics, cameras, and lights, lighting will immediately enhance your quality, and you can steal lighting from other rooms in the house. So for a completely free, no cost at all upgrade, find the light. So whether it's a window, the trouble with window lights, as in daylight, is that if there's a thunderstorm, you suddenly go blue like a Smurf and you can't control it. So I've got a series of lights in here. I've got LED lights, I've got little lamps, and if you have lots of little lights, just normal house lights, just have as many as you possibly can. I would always recommend a half decent microphone. You can pick them up on Amazon for £20. I would always recommend a Logitech cam instead of your computer cam. However, if you've got good lighting, you will look better immediately. So lighting is your number one priority there. Okay, Safa on Facebook. Hi, Safa, good morning. I operate a services business selling a digital tool. Because of this, we have a lot of webinars and onboard videos that are quite lengthy. To be honest, a bit dull. Safa, you're not alone. I think there's a lot of people doing dull because they don't realize that when you're online and you're doing a presentation with PowerPoint slides and stuff, you've got to be very mindful of attention spans. So how do we spruce up this sort of content to make it more engaging? So a services business selling a digital tool. Okay, so Safa, I would say try and chunk it up. When we're talking about small chunks, chunk it up. So make your presentation episodic. And if you're having webinars and onboard videos, can you have episode 1, episode 2, episode 3? Can you have a bite-sized chunk, and then for more information, here's the link to the self-learning have kind of executive summaries or elevator pitch versions of what you've got. And then if you want more, click here. If you want more, go to this. If you want more, we'll send you the lesson. So then you could have like a demo that you send afterwards that people can sit and pause and take their time looking through it. This is the reality. A very good friend of mine called Lee Warren, who's also a virtual speaker like me. I mean, who would have thought that there was such a job title as virtual speaker? But that's what I've become. But one of my good friends, Lee Warren, he said the other day, at the moment, the way that we're working at the moment, we've all got the attention span of a 3-year-old and the memory of a 90-year-old. No offense to any 3-year-olds or 90-year-olds there, but this is the reality. We've got a 3-year-old's attention span. So get in there quick, be engaging quickly. For more information, to have more. For more data, do this. If you want more detail, do this. Don't just dump data, because if you dump data, your audience will not really take any of it in, and they certainly won't remember it. So good luck, Safa. Have fun with it. Try and find some nice images to spruce it up as well. Okay, Oliver on Twitter. Direct message. Hello, Oliver, how are you? I've shot a few videos for my business, but I know nothing about video editing. Should I give it a go myself or hire somebody to edit it? Okay, so a few videos for business. You know what, Oliver? Even though I'm from television and radio, I've worked all those years at the BBC. I've edited audio, I've edited with film. Now, when I was working at a television station, Rapture Television, all those years ago, I had the luxury of sitting in the edit suite with an editor saying, pause there, do that. Oh no, stop there. Here's your in, here's your out. And I had the luxury of sitting with an editor. It is absolutely great if you know somebody, and actually, you know, a young, fresh from college videographer type person. I'm sure you could find an editor. Okay, that's one option, is just invest in it. And it's quite nice actually to invest in somebody that knows what they're doing. It's a breath of fresh air. However, I'm not very technical, and I've got an iMac and I use iMovie. Now I don't get paid. The other editing equipment is available, but actually there are quite good edit software. There's loads of edit software out there. Personally, when I use iMovie, it's very, 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 very basic, but it means I can top and tail. And when you do stuff on your iPhone or your phone, your smartphone, your tablet, normally if you just press edit, there's like a little yellow, it highlights it. And this is any package, any software. There's normally a really simple highlight, top and tail function. I think it depends. If you're doing something just for online and it's really quick, you can easily just top and tail it on your phone. If you want to make a slightly more spruced up version of your video and you want maybe some graphics on it or a little title or something, I would get an editor, and it's not that expensive to hire somebody for it. There's a daily rate. It can range anything from, you know, £150 or less, depending if it's a student person. You can spend a few £100s for an hour. I would think explore, try it, pilot it, try it. You can try everything once, remember? Fred on Facebook Messenger. Hello, Fred. Right, said Fred. Good morning. I run a manufacturing company. Good. I hope everything's been going okay with COVID and everything. The chemicals industry. I'm looking to raise my profile as a business leader. Should I start making videos? And what could I create? A manufacturing company in the chemicals industry. I'm looking to raise my profile. Okay, I mean, I would say, Fred, whatever your industry is, okay, if you've got thoughts and ideas about the industry, right, chunk them up into thoughts and ideas. So I would say your task, Fred, your specific task is to think, what's my view on what is happening in my manufacturing chemicals industry? What is going on? What are my predictions? What's my vision? What do I think post-COVID for the next few years? You know, what's the climate? And actually having videos with you talking about your expertise, your knowledge, and your predictions and your vision for the future, that would be a really good way. And I would say across the board, whatever industry you're in, if you've got thoughts and ideas and ambitions and predictions about what's going on in your industry, and you can make short, bite-sized videos, that would be a really good strategy. You could hire somebody to do that for you. You can batch. There's another one. So we're chunking things up this morning, and now we're going to batch. So you make a batch of videos. So you could get a videographer for a couple of hours, maybe you've got 7 points that you want to make, or 5 points. So you make 5 little videos, and then you get them to chop it up. So you've got 5 little mini interviews or little videos of you talking about your vision for the future. Another little tip there, Fred. And if you're making these little videos in a batch, change your costume, because then it looks like a different video. So it looks like you've had five moments in the spotlight talking about your expertise. If you wear the same clothes, the video just looks the same, and it's like, oh, I've seen that guy, I've seen him talk. And actually, if you just change your jacket, it's like, oh right, what's he going to say this time? It's just our brains, you know, it's very simple. But that's a really good tip. Have 5 costumes like Shirley Bassey, Fred. Okay, Rupert on Instagram, direct message. Hello, Rupert. Good morning. I think I need some advice on delivery. Delivery as in, good morning, Rupert. Good morning. How are you? Rupert, I can give you so much advice. I'm told often that sometimes I mumble. I talk too fast. So, you know, we've all got something wrong with us, haven't we? Mumble. But when I try to project, I feel like I'm shouting. Yeah. What should I be doing? Okay. That's really common. Rupert, don't worry. Don't get self-conscious. Okay. Just don't worry about it. Because if you worry about it, and if you're a little bit afraid or it's a bit embarrassing, you know, you think I'm not really a performer, and somebody's asking me to kind of speak up, and you're like, it's quite difficult to just click into, I've got a great voice. So Rupert, a couple of things. First of all, don't beat yourself up. You're fine. If you mumble a bit, it's okay, but probably slow down a little bit. Now, if you want to project your voice more or just get your voice a little bit louder, couple of things. First of all, water. I was reminded by the team this morning, have water at hand, because water is the most useful tool when you are making a video, because your mouth will dry up and you want a bit of welly and oomph in your voice. So Rupert, what I would suggest is that, before you speak or before you go on video, just try and relax. And this part of you, so the part of you which is going to be used to speak, your speaking apparatus, you want it as relaxed as possible. So try and just roll those shoulders, try and breathe nice deep breaths. If you speak to a voice expert, it's all in deep breath, good breath. Take your time. You don't want to be panicky or clammed up. You want it to be open and relaxed. And it's quite difficult when you feel a little bit under pressure. So I would suggest that you just try slowing down, take a few deep breaths, smile, because this will relax your lower palate. And if you relax your lower palate, you're more likely to have more voice. Another really good tip, Rupert, is stand up. Now, I'm standing up. Look, I can move around. I've got a yo-yo desk that goes up and down. And what I find is when I stand up, I have got a fuller voice, and it's much, much easier to sound much, much better when you are standing well with a good posture, lots of water, smiling and warming up your voice a little bit. So just have a go. Experiment. Pilot, remember, experiment. You can only learn by trying stuff out. But Rupert, please don't worry, and don't let feedback like, oh, you mumble too much. Don't let that, don't start that story in your head. Oh, I mumble too much. It's not going to help you. What's going to help you is just, right, I'm going to try new stuff. I'm going to try some techniques. Just remember, look into the camera and smile, and people will engage with you immediately. John on Facebook Messenger. Hello, John. I'm a handyman. Oh, good. You want to come round to my house? I need you. I'm not really sure how video can help me. Okay. Although I do want to widen my client base. So I've thought about using social media. What sort of videos could I make? John, you're not sure how video can help you? John, you're a handyman. Excuse me. John, you've got so much great content. Who doesn't want a handyman to say, do you know what? I've got this tip. John, I'm going to give you a task now, and you can translate this to any business, but I'm going to make it about John the handyman. Okay. You try this, write on a bit of paper all of your very particular tips. For example, I'm not a handy woman. I'm not very good at shelves and stuff like that. And I'm not really good at plumbing and I'm screwdrivers. I'm a bit lost in that world. Okay. But I remember, so recently my other half, he doesn't really like it either, but he always says to me, he says things like, measure twice, cut once. Measure twice, cut once. In other words, when you're going to put a shelf up or a screw in the wall ready to put a picture up, measure twice and then drill once, sort of thing. Because if you don't double check the measurements, the whole shelf's going to fall down. So John, I would say get a sheet of paper and write down your top handyman tips. So like measure twice, cut once, for example. What about when you're using this sort of screwdriver? When you're using this sort of paint? Where do people go wrong? Like when you're using filler, what people tend to do with filler is they don't leave it long enough. Or when you're sanding, when you're using sandpaper, people use, it's too rough. I don't know. I'm actually, making it up now, but I bet you've got loads of tips. Quite a long time ago on BBC Two, they had a series. It was like a little bite-sized series of, I can't remember what it was called. It's kind of like hacks, industry hacks. So I would do industry hacks, like handyman hacks. Hey, there you go. John, the Handyman Hack Series. Tiny little bite-sized chunks where it's like, if you want to put a picture up, do it like this. This is where people go wrong. If you want to put a shelf up, to get it straight, you need da-da-da-da-da-da. If you want to do this, you need this sort of hammer. If you want to take a nail out of a wall, do this. Gosh, you've got loads of great tips. So let's see the John Handyman Hack Series, little 20 seconds, 30 seconds of your tips. And you could do it on a mobile phone. You could even get a decent microphone, some lighting, just steal a light from somewhere, and you've got your little handyman hacks. So go for it. And that applies to any industry. What are your hacks? What are your little creative moments of expertise? Okay, Eleanor on Twitter. And please, we've got a couple of minutes left, literally. So get your questions in quickly. I'll try and fit in as many as I can. Eleanor, we're really trying to crack our business story. We've got it written down, but we need it to be more adaptable and conversational. Is there a structural method we could utilize? Eleanor, my best advice would be chunk it up. So maybe you've got several stories. You don't really want one thing set in stone all the time. I'm sure for your website, you do need a nice, beautifully crafted one main master story. But when it comes to video, you've probably got a couple of stories there. And I would say pilot it, say it out loud, explore. A really good tip, if you want to tell a story, is start the sentence like this. I remember one time when ... And that could be the first, I was speaking to a client, or, just tell a story. That would be a really, really good way. Okay, so the poll results are in. Okay, so how confident are you on video? Okay, nobody says, I'm a pro. Nobody said, I'm really confident, but 50% say, I'm okay, good. I'm okay, good, because you can actually improve. And 50% say, I dread it. Well, I really hope that you won't dread it after this. My advice is, please just have a little go. It's private, nobody can see it. Get used to using video. You have to use it anyway. I bet you've been asked to do a pitch on Zoom or Teams anyway, to do an all-staff meeting on a digital platform or a remote meeting. Get yourself on video, get some good lights. Honestly, you will do better business if people can see you and you can communicate via a camera. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in this morning. If you want to get in touch with myself, you can send me a direct message on LinkedIn, and you can search for Esther Stanhope. And my name is spelled ESTHER, Esther Stanhope. I'm known as the Impact Guru on LinkedIn. And I've got quite a lot of articles and cool tips on LinkedIn as well. Also, please look out for the link, because just because you tuned in this morning, you get a free audiobook of Goodbye Glossophobia, Banish Your Fear of Public Speaking. And it's got loads of tips in the audiobook. It's all about, how does Barack Obama do it? How do I start? How do I stop? How do I tell a story? How do I make myself look more confident? And all about the smiling and what you do with eye contact. It's really, really useful. It's full of tips. So Ask the Expert will be back on Monday, the 12th of July. That's a week on Monday, the 12th of July, because next week, the QuickBooks team are having a little recharging of their batteries. Yes, they need a little week to rest and recharge. Good for mindfulness. So on Monday the 12th, Aaron Patrick, a pro advisor, accountant, and a QuickBooks expert, is going to be taking over the show on Ask the Expert. So if you have any questions for him, please do start asking them now. He'll be talking about bookkeeping and how to make it easier for yourself. A reminder that if you need any more advice, join the official Intuit QuickBooks SMB community group on Facebook. Accountants and business experts are on hand 24/7. I've really, really enjoyed answering your questions this morning. Thank you so much. Smile at the camera and have a great day. And I'll see you soon. Thank you.